Hi guys, and welcome to your weekly horoscope. This one is for Monday the 7th of August going through until Sunday the 13th of August 2023. Thanks for joining me. It's a pleasure to be with you today. I'm kind of sitting in a corner of hedges here in the park because it's a little bit windy, so I thought I'd get some shelter from the hedges, so I hope you can hear me okay. What I'm going to do in this horoscope is I'm going to go through each day of the week to see how the planets interact with each other, what energy they form amongst themselves. And the point of these weekly horoscopes then is to try and understand that energy so that you can use some of the good stuff that comes via the planets, and you can avoid some of the difficulties or challenges that come along with that energy, because on planet duality here on Earth, we always experience both sides of the coin. So the first thing I noticed about this week, it seems really full on. I wrote down here that you have lots of energy and you can get a lot done, but you may also feel quite restless. But to be honest, when I looked at the first 3 days of the week, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it seems kind of exhausting. Like you've got so much on your plate, so many things that you want to get done that you may run yourself a little bit ragged. So I would just say at the beginning of the week or until the middle, until Wednesday here, try and pace yourself. I think that's a good rule of thumb here to apply to this week. So starting with Monday the 7th of August, we've got the moon in Aries. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac and it's a fire sign. If you look at the glyph of Aries, it's the little ram, right? And it's all about moving ahead, getting obstacles outside of your way. No, that's not English. Getting obstacles out of your path, getting rid of obstacles, right? Things that prevent you from moving forward. And it kind of rams into situations, so it likes confrontation, it likes to win, it has a strength of purpose, as in I am getting in here, there's no two questions about it. So Aries is not particularly shy and it's very focused on the goal and the direction you want to be going in. That squares Pluto in Capricorn. So Pluto is the planet of transformation and change. And in Capricorn, the sign of the worker, an earth sign, it's all about making practical changes. So there may be one or two areas in your life where you're really like, this has to shift, this has to go, I'm sick of this is unacceptable, I'm going to bulldoze my way through this in order to get what I want. So you see, you immediately come into the week with this super certain energy that says, if it's not done my way, then I don't have time for it. So you're not particularly patient. On the flip side, if you do want to affect change, if you do want to take control of a situation and say, this is going to be different, if it's the last thing I do, you'll be able to do that very well, but the stress level is kind of high. The moon enters Taurus at 8:25 in the morning. So the moon is the way you feel. Taurus is the second sign of the zodiac. It's an earth sign and it's fixed. It's about control. It's about this environment, I'm going to adapt it. So let's say I've got a field, I'm going to change that into a beautiful garden or a labyrinth or something like that. So Taurus is about affecting practical change on an earthy level. So that has to do with your finance, your physical body, your environment, your career, your living situation, anything along those lines. And if you then combine that with the Aries, Moon and Pluto in Capricorn, it's almost as if you're looking for something that needs changing, even if everything is okay. So it's almost like it's too much of a good thing. You come at this with this like dog with a bone kind of attitude, and I think trying to relax a little bit and weighing things up in earnest, should I just change things for the sake of it, or are they okay as they are, God forbid, That's a good question to ask, I think, here at the beginning of the week. The Taurus moon also trines Mercury in Virgo. Mercury in Virgo is really good because Mercury rules Virgo. Mercury is the communication planet. And in Virgo, it's really able to see the bigger picture and to analyze things and to make sense of them very, very well. So information-wise, pretty much the whole week, you're likely to read something properly and get the right takeaway. You're likely to understand the fine print. You're likely to see the other person's kind of agenda in some sort of negotiation. So you're operating at all levels, and it's unlikely that the wool is pulled over your eyes. So you're not likely to be tricked here, which is good with the Aries moon, that if you do want to go ahead, you're not going to let yourself be derailed by other people's misinformation or points of view that are designed to hold you back. The Taurus moon also sextiles Saturn in Pisces. So I just touched on that a moment ago, but if you feel like someone is really standing in your path, you're not particularly inspired to say, okay, let me just slow down and take a moment to listen to this person's point of view and to really try and understand everything. If anything, you'll want the cliff notes. Patience isn't given abundantly here on Monday. You want to get the gist as quickly as possible, and then you'll have a desire to move forward on your own. So that can bring up conflict, arguments. If someone is trying to prevent you from making a mistake and deliberately positions themselves against you, that could create an argument. So the plus side of Monday is that you start the week with a sense of motivation and drive, although I think that's an understatement. You're like a juggernaut coming into the situation. So it is a good day to consider changes when it comes to your career, living situation, or anything earthy and practical. Communication is supported by Mercury in Virgo. So anything official like forms, applications, interviews, those are likely to go well, and you present yourself very well. You have access to all the information. And that's the other thing. You find it easy to access the right information at the right time. So you're a super researcher here at the beginning of the week. So if anyone kind of destroys your thesis with a contradictory point of view or opinion, danger zone. Okay, so I would say at the beginning of the week, set certain goals, do as much as you can to achieve those, but accept the fact that certain things are going to block you and there will be challenges, and that is okay and normal. And that's a good way to kind of prepare and to avoid any frustration. Tuesday, the 8th of August, we've got the Taurus moon now forming a conjunction with Jupiter, the lucky planet, and Uranus, the planet of change and the miraculous and the unexpected, also in Taurus. So we're all Earth here. So really, you'll be able to look at your situation and say, this is how I want to upgrade. Or you may get some news via some official channel that says your work is going to change, or you come across the latest, I don't know, health and self-improvement guide that you can use to make the changes you want in yourself, for example. The Taurus moon then squares the Sun and Venus in Leo, so that's a lot of heat and a lot of fire. The Sun is your identity, what you'd like to be on a conscious level, and the Sun currently is in Leo, so anything that's public, anything that requires you to kind of step outside your comfort zone to present, to talk, is supported. Venus is also in Leo, so I want passion and excitement and drive. Well, not so much drive. I want things that make me feel connected and that give me an intense experience. But Venus is in retrograde at the moment, so you may be interested in things that you usually wouldn't be. So if there's an opportunity to do something that's totally outside of your comfort zone, go for that. If you usually wouldn't enjoy it, you may on this day. So I don't know, if all your friends go skydiving once a year, I don't know, it could be, but you've never had an interest, it might be just the thing to give you that kick that you're looking for. Because that's basically what I'm trying to say, that having a routine, boring, this is the same as every other day, that's not going to work for you on Tuesday. You want something that has a bit of oomph associated with it, right? It also trines Mercury and Mars in Taurus. So when it comes to the physical world, you're really not scared of anything. You're so confident that it's almost like overconfidence. And I'm telling you to go skydiving here. So if you do go skydiving, no, I'm not. I was gonna say that make sure that the, parachute and everything is in order. But I'm being silly. There's no real risk here. I'm just saying that things that might usually intimidate you, like a lot of us, if we're not knowledgeable about something or good at it, then we kind of have a little bit of caution, and that makes sense. Like if you've never skateboarded and someone says, here's a skateboard, go jump on it, then you may be a little bit cautious because you know that you have never tried it and you might fall off. So I think it's about taking the action and allowing yourself to do that, but also making sure that everything is in place and that the details have been looked at. With, again, Mercury in Virgo, that's not going to be an issue. So combine fire and confidence with this analytical responsibility of Mercury in Virgo, and I think you'll be sitting really in a good position here. So on Tuesday, there is this overweening sense of course I can do it because I'm me. I mean, hello, But apply that also to making big decisions. If you've been in the same house for 20 years and for the last 10 you've wanted to move, then it might be time to look at that. And this is where you can use that overconfidence to say, okay, enough with all the hang-ups about leaving this property. I'm just going to do it. So that's the kind of thing where this energy is helpful. And you can rely on the confidence because you are informed and you have this ability to affect change in earnest. With all the earth in the chart, especially here on Tuesday, you're able to adapt your circumstances or improve them. You can get creative with anything that exists in the physical world, and you can change it so that it's tailor-made to your needs. You're not lacking motivation. And if there's something that you've, like the house move, if there's something big and uncertain that you've toyed with for a long time, revisit this, because your confidence is going to tell you to go ahead today. Even if the circumstances aren't hugely different, it's just this inner sense of, yes, I can, that really serves you. So if you're in between jobs, or you're in the middle of moving, or you're trying to figure out what the path is, Tuesday is a good day to look around and to get clear on what it is you want to do. Wednesday, the 9th of August, we've got the Taurus moon trining a... Let me start again. Wednesday the 9th, we have the Taurus moon forming a trine with Pluto in Capricorn. So I really need things to change here. I'm restless, I'm possibly even irritable, and now I want change just for the sake of change, even if it's not an improvement. It sextiles Neptune in Pisces. It's almost like I need things to feel flexible and adaptable. What I don't like at the moment is feeling trapped and hemmed in. Venus in Leo squares Uranus in Taurus. So that's this tendency, I want to blow things up and see what happens. The moon enters Gemini at 3 in the afternoon, 5 minutes past 3 in the afternoon. And then the Gemini moon squares Saturn in Pisces. Mercury in Virgo trines Jupiter in Taurus. So this is the peak of the restlessness. This is the peak of this almost manic energy that says, go and do something and do it as quickly as you possibly can. So what I would suggest here on Wednesday is that before you rush off, try and reflect a little bit on your circumstances, or meditate, or get some guidance in terms of where you're at, just to kind of calm things down or to slow them down so that you can make well-informed decisions. If you felt off track or in limbo, your intuition on Wednesday can provide really practical solutions and answers to what you may be asking about. And big changes continue to seem less intimidating. And again, it's justified because you have all the right information at your disposal. So you're not likely to miss hidden details, nor are you likely to gallop off in the wrong direction. You're operating at 100% capacity here. I would even say 110, because it's so it's so wild and driven that afterwards you may feel like I need a rest here just to kind of get the balance back. So anything that feels challenging is good to undertake now. That's a good energy or a good place to channel all this energy into. Also, just on a really practical level on Wednesday, if you have to look at contracts or anything like that, it's a good day to go over that and to sign if you're happy with what has been described. On Thursday, the 10th of August, we've got the Gemini moon forming a square with Mars and Mercury in Virgo. So Mars is drive, ambition, what I want. Mercury is the communication planet. With both of them in Virgo, it's kind of contradictory because it says, I want to understand everything so that I can feel safe and ordered and grounded. The Gemini moon is about, I want to take my information and I want to share it and express it. So what do I do here on Thursday? Do I sit back and just study and learn? Or do I ignore all of that and just voice my own views and own opinions? I feel that the best way forward, and you may think this is a cop-out, but to find the middle ground and to do both. To inform yourself, to learn, to study, to listen, and to then reflect on that and to give your own take on it, to give your own opinion, or to plan your own path moving forward. The Gemini moon sextiles the Sun and Venus in Leo and Chiron in Aries. Okay, so with that, you're not going to be that willing to slow down again, and you're going to be much more interested in expressing what feels real for you instead of doing a lot of research. So overall on Thursday, I think it's a good idea to deliberately cool down a little bit and to take a breath and to say, I'm going to take a moment to reflect and study before I do anything, and to gather more information ultimately. You may find it challenging to relax and unwind, And I feel the best way to channel this energy is to gather more information, or to exercise, or to travel. Ultimately, the point is to expand your horizons and to feel like I am making something bigger here. I mean, that's understandable, right? If you wake up in the morning and you immediately have this sense of anxiety and these are all the things that I have to do on this day, you're not going to be able to just lie in bed for another 2 hours and to relax if you feel that driven and push to kind of take certain actions. On Friday the 11th of August, we have the Gemini moon forming a square with Neptune in Pisces. This is really good for creative people who want to be inspired. It sextiles Venus in Leo and quincunxes Pluto in Capricorn. So I'm being drawn towards the creative side of things. If you're an artist or a performer, this is really good for you to discover something new inside. Mars in Virgo quincunxes Chiron in Aries. So if you do make a creative discovery on Friday the 11th of August, it's not just there to entertain you or the other people watching your creative output. There may be some sort of healing quality to it, either the work in itself, or by doing this new thing which has just appeared to you, it may heal your circumstances, so you may have a big success on your hands. So listen on Friday to what's going on internally, because your creativity is fired and you're still super confident. So there won't be any block in terms of expressing what you're feeling. So you can immediately engage with it on that level. Schedule in anything that requires you to appear in the spotlight on Friday. It's going to feel exciting instead of daunting. And there may also be the need to get your point across and to express your own ideas, which again is a good thing if you're creative, if you're an artist, if you're a writer. So all those things are good, but also if you're launching a website or you're exhibiting your art, or if you're trying to pick a date for the exhibition, Friday the 11th is awesome. It's really good. Saturday the 12th of August, the moon goes into Cancer at 52 minutes past midnight. So now we've got a change. Cancer is the fourth sign of the zodiac, and it's at the very bottom of your chart, the fourth house next to the IC, which is your roots and your family and what grounds you, right? So if I'm looking at your birth chart, the bottom half of the chart is kind of the domestic sphere of your life, your home life, things that are going on internally. The top half of the chart is the public sphere. It's your connection with other people, jobs, the media, anything that exists outside of you. So with the moon now going into Cancer, things for the first time this week really calm down. You're willing to stay at home. You're willing to enjoy the things you've got in your life now, instead of planning for the future and saying, what can I acquire, or what can I do, or what can I plan next? So the weekend is really like a homecoming, metaphorically. The Cancer moon trines Saturn in Pisces and it sextiles Jupiter in Taurus. So that's nice. It's really this ability to sit down and to rest and not to be distracted, and to just take a moment and to chill, basically. The Sun in Leo trines Chiron in Aries. So this sense of being at home and feeling at ease, balance that out by doing something really fun and exciting. Again, it doesn't have to be extreme like skydiving, but it can be going for a walk or playing a game of chess, or anything that kind of involves other people and that's kind of calm and requires a sense of well-being and patience. Yes. Okay, so on Saturday, finally, things do calm down over the weekend and you become more interested in your home life and your relationship. So it's a good day for a group activity and to enjoy some leisure time. And it's better to spend time with friends and family on Saturday than to be alone, because you can have more fun and you can enjoy good relationships. Finally, on Sunday, the 13th of August, we've got the Cancer moon forming a square with Chiron in Aries. So relationships aren't just pleasant and enjoyable, they'll feel healing. It trines Neptune in Pisces, so the creativity is still there, and it sextiles Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus. Okay, more, and Mercury and Mars in Virgo. So we got loads of Earth. Also, the Sun in Leo conjuncts Venus in Leo. So this is interesting because you're good at relationships. You're good at connecting with the higher realms and your own creativity and your intuition. You're good at creating relationships with your environment, going into places that you find interesting or that are new and inspiring. And you're also very confident and willing to look at things differently. So Sunday, it's interesting because yes, my relationships are great and I can still enjoy my home life, but all this stuff from the beginning of the week bubbles up again, and it's like you start to feel a little restless again. So I think the best way forward on Sunday is to look at your relationships and how you can improve them. Especially if there's been a split or an estrangement you want to fix, it's a good day for an open, honest conversation. You're confident so that you don't just say, okay, yeah, well, let's just forget the past, nothing ever happened and I was wrong. And at the same time, you're detached enough to see a situation objectively, and you're receptive to other points of view, really for the first time this week. Because up until Sunday, it's like, what about my point of view? That's the most important one. Okay, so that's what I get for you this week. It looks kind of exhausting, to be honest. It's the first 3 days, it's like I'm going to deliberately employ some sort of self-soothing or anxiety reducing or calming kind of meditations and breathing techniques. I'm going to use that because I just think that if you're doing something really that requires a lot of energy, like if you've got some big competition coming up that requires you to perform physically, then the first 3 days of the week are great, right? But if you're trying to sit still and you're at a monastery on a silent retreat, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday aren't going to lend themselves to you just lying back and relaxing and watching the world go by. You want to create the world going by. So anything big, anything super challenging, anything that requires all of your confidence and ability, do that on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and you'll have a good result and you'll be super proud of yourself at the end as well. I did this, yeah. Okay, so that's what I got for you this week. I hope you have a wonderful time. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, scroll down a little bit until you get to the button that says book your reading. Click on that to audio reading with me. In my personal readings, I use astrology. So I draw up your birth chart, which appears as a wheel, and then I can see everything about you, life purpose, vocational talents, things that are kind of destined in relationships and work and home life and communication and finance and travel and education. If you have any questions about what's coming up in future, what your strengths and weaknesses are, your astrology chart is an amazing tool to see those things. I was going to say in black and white, but in color. I also use the tarot, numerology, and my intuition, which I include. So if you have any questions about yourself, or you've got big decisions ahead of you and you want a second pair of eyes or some guidance, or you want to see what the future trends are, please do get in touch with me for a personal reading. Check out some of my other videos, the daily tarot reading, the videos on the new moons and the full moons, and I also make live videos once a week at the moment where I've got my deck of tarot cards, and if you have a question, I just pull one card as a quick kind of, to give you a quick sense of what the situation is all about on an energetic level. So if you have any questions, please do get in touch with me. Have a fabulous week, and I'll speak to you soon. All the best. Take care.